starting lineups. First for the big Bulldogs. At center field, number 22, Megan Kelly. At catcher, number 24, Taylor Bowden. At second base, number 23, Brittany Jacobs. At third base, number 0, Sierra Hurt. At shortstop, number 10, Taylor Barton. Designated players, number 2, Michaela Meese. At first base, number 17, Samantha St. Myers. At pitcher, number 3, Hannah Jones. At left field, number 1, Sydney Spade. And playing in the flex, number 9, Carolina Merrill. The Bulldogs are coached by Junior Bailey. He is assisted by assistant coaches Amber Miller and athletic trainer Kyle Cherry. And now, the starting lineups for your Greenville Crusaders. At second base, number 1, Shayna Finley. At right field, number 5, Grace DeBoer. At third base, number 25, Megan Johnson. At catcher, number 4, Caitlin Wagers. The designated player is number 17, Kate Lee. At first base, number 13, Morgan Howard. At center field, number 14, Blair Kilman. At shortstop, number 6, Kelsey Withers. At left field, number 11, Brooke Wade. And playing in the flex at pitcher, number 15, Brooklyn Ford. Your Crusaders are coached by Sarah Hall. She's assisted by assistant coaches Shelly Robinson and Tori Freeman and athletic trainer Kelly Kimmerdine. At this time, we ask that you please rise for the invocation and remain standing as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Let us pray. Dear God, thank you for another beautiful day to enjoy the sport of softball. Thank you for your son Jesus and the grace he gives us that we don't deserve. Thank you for the support of each team's friends and family here today. Please keep this game injury-free and help these athletes play for your glory with the talents you've given them. In your name we pray. Amen.
And with that, we welcome you into North Greenville University Jan McDonald Field softball action. Here your Lady Crusaders look to take on Barton College. We're excited as we're getting ready. I'm Christian Athey with Dave Parson bringing you today's game and some Conference Carolina action. As we're looking forward to a great game, the North Greenville Crusaders come into this game in the Conference Carolinas at 3-1, 17-13 overall, as you can see on your screen. And you can see Barton coming in today, Conference Carolinas 2-3 and 14-6 overall. So we're going to have a great matchup here today, Dave, as we're looking forward to a great matchup here. The wind is picking up, blowing from the right side, the right foul pole to the left foul pole, so may be pulling some of the balls to the left field today. But beautiful weather, 62 degrees here in Tigerville, South Carolina at Jan McDonald Field. It is going to be a great one as we get ready to take it off. First pitch coming here. Megan Kelly out of Barton College, number 22, coming up to bat. Her first time to bat for today's game. As we are excited for some really good stuff coming up here as Brooklyn Fort looking to take on pitching for North Greenville Crusaders. And the first pitch coming down is strike. So 0-1 to start out, and really great job being able to get the fire going. Started throwing the ball right down the middle. Ball missing outside to the left. A 1-1 count now for Brooklyn Ford as she is looking to be able to continue starting the first inning off top of the first here at Tigerville, South Carolina. Again, the umpire calling outside again. 2-1 right now as Megan Kelly looking to set up for getting in a hitter's count, hoping maybe see what's going to happen next. A foul ball by Megan Kelly trying to defend the plate there, so very exciting stuff. 2-2 count now as we're still ready to go, waiting to see what will happen in today's game. And a great line drive hit right over to the right field for Grace DeBoer as Megan Kelly able to get a single on that play, getting to first base. Exciting stuff. A girl on base on first base, Megan Kelly. And now we have coming up Taylor Bowen, number 24, another great hitter. And right now, from February to March, the Bulldogs are looking at a 12% increase in their hitting percentage. So they've been able to put some RBIs up on the board very easily, and they're off to a great start doing that with one player going on first base right now.
Ford had a tough day yesterday. She took the loss in the first game, 2-1, so she's going to try to make it up here on this game.
They look for a steal right down the middle and a drop ball, so Megan Kelly will be safe on second. So a great steal, great legs, looking for the open base, seeing that was another ball. So now we're at 1-1 here on the count, going against Taylor Bowen as she continues. Bulldogs bring a lot of speed to the table here today as well, with a couple of very high in their ceiling of bases attempts. And a hit going down the left side, third base line over to first base, and that's one out. So Taylor Bowen goes out on a ground out over to the third baseman, Megan Johnson. Great job by her to do that, pull it up. So now we're looking at Brittany Jacobs, number 23, coming up. But the runner, Megan Kelly, able to advance to third base. So more like almost like a sacrifice slap bunt, but it was a hit. So very exciting stuff. As Brooklyn Fort looks to set up now on getting ready to start anew. And a swing on the pitch, and it's a pop up to shortstop, Kelsey Rivers, easy out. So 2 outs now as Sierra Herbst, number 4. Sierra Herbst, 0-0 on the board, getting ready. Still have the runner on third, so great opportunity to be able to put scoring in for on third base. So we're looking to see what Brooklyn Fort will do with a foul ball. So that will be 0-1. 0-1 now at the strike call down on Sierra Herb. And right now the Bulldogs have one hit on one hit, so that's really good right now. We are heating up 1-1 to count, as that was a ball pitched from Brooklyn Fort to Sierra Herb. Sierra Herb able to hit it right back to Brooklyn Fort. Brooklyn Fort looking over to Megan Herlong, and that is the top of the first here at North Greenville University. The Crusaders, exciting first start. The Bulldogs leaving one player stranded on third, as we are ready here in Tigerville to bring you the second bottom half of this first of the bottom half here in Tigerville, South Carolina. We'll be back in just a sec. And we're back in Tigerville, South Carolina, as the Bulldogs are coming out to have their bottom half come out. Hannah Jones on the mounds for the Bulldogs today, as she is their ace, getting ready to set up against the North Greenville Crusaders. Coming to bat first, Shayna Finley. Shayna Finley right now leading the Conference Carolinas in home runs with 11. So she has been highlighted this past week for that accomplishment. So she is a definite threat inside the batter's box. And Hannah Jones' first pitch is a ball. So 1-0 to start out here for Hannah Jones, her first pitch of today's game, with many more to come. And that one catching the outside of the inside, so the outside of the strike zone, so they can call that 2-0 for Hannah Jones, as Shayna Finley is being able to have sharp eyes, be able to watch and know her strike zone. And again, trying to work the corners, Hannah Jones is, and she's in a 3-0 count, so a hitter's count for Shayna Finley. Very exciting, as she has a lot of power behind her bat. Able to maybe send one out with the wind pushing out from left to right, even helping her pull the ball. Hannah Jones recovers a strike right down easy street, right down the middle of the lane, so exciting stuff right there. Now the count is 3-1 as the Crusaders look for their first hit of the game. And Shayna Finley is walked. That's something, Dave, we've seen a lot yesterday when we come to looking at yesterday's game against University of Mount Olive. Shayna Finley was walked her first 2 times up to bat. So it looks like the Bulldogs are taking the same approach to be able to take Shayna Finley's bat or power offense out of the game.
Yeah, they've definitely done their homework.
They definitely have. And Grace DeBoer is now up, the second hitter in the lineup for the Crusaders, as Hannah Jones sets up to be able to, with one player on first base. Again, working the corners, going inside on Grace DeBoer, and she is now, Hannah Jones throwing 1-0, as Shayna Finley is on first base. Right now, the defense is looking pretty nice. No one's really shifted. Everyone's pretty squared up right now, not really favoring one side, but after maybe through a couple innings, this will change. Shayna Finley going to steal second. She takes second with ease, as Grace DeBoer tried to lay down a bunt, but they wave it off. They wave it off, and they're going to say Shayna Finley will go back to first base, and they are going to have a talk at the mound as head coach for the Crusaders, Sarah Hall, has some choice words for the umpire. There's a meeting at the mound now with Haley Jones, and their catcher getting some plays, getting ready to go, oiling up the machine up again, getting ready to do it again. As here we go again with Grace DeBoer in the batter's box today. Beautiful day, 62 degrees here in Tigerville. If you can't be a part with us, thank you for joining us. We enjoy having you a part with us today, taking in Crusader Conference Carolina action here as softball is heating up with its season. Grace DeBoer ready to lay down the bunt over to the left third base line, down the first base line, and she's safe. So now you have the sacrifice bunt, Dave, that went. And Grace DeBoer ever had that speed that she has to be able to come down first base line, get safe, move the runner over. Boy, for the Crusaders, that's the perfect way to have that play happen.
Yeah, I think on that first steal, I believe what happened was the umpire called it that she tipped the ball with the bat. There was actually a foul ball. That's why the runner had to go back.
That's right. Well, Crusaders in a good position with 2 men on base, no outs here in the bottom of the first, as Megan Johnson's up to the plate against Hannah Jones, the pitching. Umpire calls a strike right down the inside left hash of the batter's box. Beautiful throw from Hannah Jones, dialing back into the game, as she has now got 1 strike on the board, so it's 0-1 with 2 men on base. Megan Johnson tried to lay down a bunt, but unsuccessful. And catcher Taylor Bowen making sure Shayna Finley and Grace DeBoer stay in their spots, driving them back to their bases, first and second. Now with a 1-1 count, Hannah Jones gets ready to wind up for her next pitch. And again, Megan Johnson laying down the bunt. But Hannah Jones able to get the out on first base. But that advances the runners again as the Crusaders in a great position to score with Shayna Finley and Grace DeBoer on third and second. So right now the Crusaders with their cleanup hitter, Caitlin Wagers, number 4. Caitlin Wagers coming up to see if the Crusaders can put some points on the board early. And first pitch is a strike on the outside, painting the line. She's a Picasso. That's Picasso painting right there, right on the lines for Hannah Jones. A great pitch as she is trying to work the angles around the sides of the batter's box and the strike zone. And with that, she's already up 1-1. It looks like the last pitch was a ball, a scorekeeper right there. But last pitch, so we're 1-1 now. And she threw a perfect strike there, Hannah Jones. As we were looking at Shayna Finley trying to get a little bit of the edge, trying to get off the bag just a little bit. A swing and a hit, pop up to shortstop. That is Taylor Martin with the catch. That's 2 outs now as Caitlin Wagers got popped out. As Kate Lee, number 5, the number 5 hitter, number 7, Kate Lee coming up to hit right now against Hannah Jones and the Bulldogs. Hannah Jones trying to get some grip with the back. And a big hit from Kate Lee. And it's over the side wall. Great hit from Kate Lee. That is a 2-run home run. Crusaders are up 3-0. Wowza, wowza. We knew the Crusaders had some power in the lineup, but Dave, can you believe such an early swing on the first pitch? Wow, what a great play by Kate Lee.
Does this remind you of Game 2 yesterday?
It sure does.
It's almost the exact same thing with one-run lead. I mean, this time it brought in 3 on the home run
sure
instead
does.
of 2. It gives the Crusaders a 3-run lead early. And that's the way they played Game 2 that they won yesterday.
Against University of Mount Olive. If you didn't catch that game, Caitlin Wagers busted out a home run and make a 2-run home run. And what an amazing game. Wow, what a great start for the Crusaders. Now the Bulldogs need to look to battle back. Hannah Jones dialing in against Megan Herlong, the first baseman for the Crusaders. The ball low and away, so we're going 1-0 with 2 outs, there should be 2 outs. The scoreboard right now does not say that, but there should be 2 outs in the inning. A swing and a hit from Megan Herlong, picked up by Taylor Bowen and thrown over to first base to get the final out of the bottom of the first. So an exciting fireworks happening here at Jan McDonald Stadium in Tigerville, South Carolina. Crusaders up 3-0 as we look to take you to the top of the second and see if the Bulldogs have some fight in them to bring it back to reel in the Crusaders in their big lead. We'll be right back here on North Greenville Sports Network. We'll be right back to bring you all the action of the second inning, the top of the second, in just a few minutes. And we're back in the North Greenville Sports Network as we are ready here in Tigerville, South Carolina. Taylor Martin, number 10, up to bat against Brooklyn Fort. In the top of the second, the Crusaders having a big inning last time around with scoring a 3-run home run with Kate Lees hitting that home run today. So very exciting things. The first pitch was a strike, 0-1 from Brooklyn Fort. And she is looking to deal today. That a little on the outside for Brooklyn Fort on Taylor Martin. Taylor Martin has some sharp eyes to see the ball, to know her strike zone, and be able to take that ball outside. Now it's 1-1 in the top of the second here in beautiful Jan McDonald Stadium. The sun has come out, everybody, and we're excited for that. Some warm weather. Called strike 1-2 now. Brooklyn Fort looking to continue to keep the ball low and away from Taylor Martin. Struck her out. Brooklyn Fort on the inside corner. Take out Taylor Martin on her play this time. So great pitch by Brooklyn Fort to be able to break them at the knees. That's one of the hardest pitches to hit, in my opinion, because it's coming at you, and so you don't know how close you are with the line and how close that, and also how big that strikeout box is going to be from day to day. So that was a very, very worthy pitch. Now to bat, Michaela Meeks. She took the first pitch, a ball, 1-0, as Brooklyn Fort looks to throw again. And that one as well, another ball. Michaela Meeks having, again, some sharp eyes out there today with the sun in her face. Brooklyn Fort is taking the same approach, trying to paint the corners, but she is not having very much success right now. But 3-0 on the count, so we need to look for Michaela Meeks to have a big-time hit here with a hitter's count. And Brooklyn Fort able to put the first strike in of the count. 3-1 now. For Michaela Meeks, you have to be thinking towards getting some traction going here. When you get on base, get on base, maybe a single, a double. As they've been able to do a walk. What a great way to start this inning for the Bulldogs, as they have a walk, a man on base. First base, that is Michaela Meeks. As Samantha St. Myers comes up to bat in a minute, as Brooklyn Fort's having a little talk over with her catcher, Caitlin Wagers. Kind of see the game plan, see what's going on. But no way to better start an inning for the Bulldogs than get a man on base early with no outs, with one out.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, number 17, Samantha St. Myers.
And Samantha St. Myers able to get into her batter box, getting settled in for her first pitch she's going to see today. Brooklyn Fort able to put it in there for a strike. So 0-1 with one out, one runner on base. As the Bulldogs look to try to take back some ground, get some ground, catch some ground, as they are down 3-0 in the top of the second. Looking for the bunt. Michaela Meeks was almost got caught by Caitlin Wagers, but she was able to retreat back to first base. The first base bag, Michaela Meeks was able to. Yep. And with that, we're looking at a 1-1 count. Able to lay down the bunt, going to first base. She is thrown out as Samantha St. Myers, but doing what she had to do, getting the 2 outs now. But with that in mind, we have a runner in scoring position for the Bulldogs. And that is going to be Michaela Meeks over there on second base. So that's very exciting. Things we're having is Hannah Jones, the pitcher for today's game, coming up for the Bulldogs, hitting in their 8th spot. Brooklyn Fort starting out strong again, throwing a first pitch strike right down to the opposite pitcher, Hannah Jones. as this inning continues with 2 outs, 1 runner on second base. Very exciting things happening here in Tigerville, South Carolina. Ball was thrown low from Brooklyn Fort as Hannah Jones takes that ball. So now the count is 1-1. Brooklyn Fort ready to look again to see what she'll be throwing here now. 1-1 count. Throwing it down and inside, which she has had some success earlier, but a little too low that time. 2-1, as it looks like Michaela Meeks is edge every time the ball's being pitched. She's edging off that bag, ready for maybe a call from third base coach, hit and run. And the ball is hit right over to Kelsey Rivers, be able to throw out and end the inning right there. Throw out Hannah Jones on first base. That will end the inning for us here in Tigerville, South Carolina. Or excuse me, not end the inning, but put us to the bottom half of the inning, second inning, as Crusaders are still leading 3-0. As we are very excited to see what will happen in the bottom of the second, as the Crusaders look to add some more insurance runs. As we continue here in Tigerville, we'll be back in a minute with the bottom of the second half. And we're here in the bottom of the second here in Tigerville, South Carolina. Beautiful day, 62 degrees. The sun is maybe even going to reach 70 today, as the sun has broken through the clouds. Hannah Jones getting ready to set up to throw to Greer Kilman. First pitch away, and it is going to be called a ball. So 1-0 to Greer Kilman, the center fielder for today for the Crusaders. This is her first time at bat in today's game. Today, Ryan, there will be a doubleheader, so there'll be a 2 o'clock game right here on the North Greenville Sports Networks. We'll be covering that game as well. So stay tuned for the game after. Another high pitch, 2-0 for Hannah Jones as she is thrown to Greer Kilman again, 2-0. So very exciting. Greer Kilman hitting right back to Hannah Jones. Hannah Jones able to bobble but fields it and throws out Greer Kilman. So great play by Hannah Jones to get on top of the ball. Dave, you know they always say that pitchers sometimes don't have to be able to field their position, but in that play right there we saw firsthand that they do have to field their position.
Well, that's why they give them a glove too. They practice that, hitting back to the pitchers. A lot of times they can get that line drive too.
Kelsey Rivers up to bat right now as we have 1 out. Looking at a ball outside, so 0-1, excuse me, a strike. 0-1 strike right there. Beautiful pitch, painting the edges of the strike zone again. And the dugout for the Crusaders is coming alive with their chants, the rally chants that softball is very well known for, as Greer Kilman calls for some time to reset and readjust. And high over the catcher, Taylor Bowen, as now it goes to a 1-1 count. With one out, as Kelsey Rivers is still to play the shortstop for the Crusaders. A beautiful strike from Hannah Jones, 1-2, now in a pitcher's count. Right now, I would think to see that something that Hannah Jones would be throwing here would be throwing something down and outside, what she's been doing all day today, to try to see if she can get Kelsey Rivers to pull. Kelsey Rivers sat right over to third, thrown to first, and that's out. Great job by Sarah Herb. They also listed as a pitcher, but not pitching today, at third base to be able to throw out Kelsey Rivers on a nice, easy ground out. Now we look to have Brooke Wade coming up to bat, the freshman left fielder for the Crusaders. She looks to lay out on a bunt with 2 outs, but that is going to be called a strike. So 0-1 for Brooke Wade. As the defense looks the corners, the first and third baseman for the Bulldogs, Samantha Santmeyers and Sierra Herp, coming up to be able to protect for the bunch that Brooke Wade may be laying down. And it's high, so now we're in a 2-1 count here in Tigerville, South Carolina, where we are ready and excited for some more great game as the North Greenville Crusaders are up 3-0 right now with 2 outs. So a 1-1 count. A little on the inside there. So now we're looking at 2-1 for the Crusaders. And for Brooke Wade. Brooke Wade able to yesterday having her very first and Haley Jones going to her bread and butter, the outside corner of the right-handed batters. Not able to pull that one in as well, so 3-1. Haley Jones looking at a 3-1 count, as well as Brooke Wade. Brooke Wade swing and a hit, but it's a foul ball down the third base line. So she will live another day, as is now a 3-2 count. A full count here in Tigerville. She is the number 9 hitter in the list, Brooke Wade, she is. So right after her, if she can get on base, she'll have Shayna Finley, the leading home run hitter in the Conference Carolinas. And a big hit to left field, but and it's right over the left fielder's head, Michaela Meeks, but she's able to rebound. So great play by Brooke Wade to get the double. That is her first double for today's game. And she is hit a great ball. And Michaela Meeks, great effort running back, but had to backpedal, and all of a sudden as she went to jump up for the ball, she missed time to jump just a little, and Meeks missed the ball, allowing Brooke Wade to get all the way to second on a double. Now Shayna Finley, your Crusader powerhouse hitter, on the first batter on the lineup, coming to hit now against Haley Jones.
Also, Christian, that 20-mile-an-hour wind has now shifted. It's in the batter's favor. And if she can get a hold of one, she could put it over the wall now, because that 20-mile-an-hour wind will carry it.
For sure, that's probably exactly what helped Brooke Wade's ball to go right over top of Michaela Meeks. Count 1-0. As Haley Jones is winding up. And high again. Looks like they're going to take the same strategy, Dave, to pitch around Shayna Finley because of how volatile and how explosive she is in the batter's box.
Now they have to worry about Lee as well.
Kate Lee, a little ways away, but Grace DeBoer up in the on-hitting circle. And a big hit from Shayna Finley, but they will be easily taken this time by Michaela Meeks. Great job to camp under the ball, see it, play it, and have your glove out. So great job by the Bulldogs to end the Crusaders' run as it's still 3-0 here in Tigerville. Bottom of the second coming up here in Tigerville, as we are excited to bring you that. North Greenville Sports Network, thank you for joining us. I'm Christian Athey, Dave Parson along with me today as we are bringing you Conference Carolina Action Softball here in Tigerville, South Carolina. We'll be back with the top of the third here in Tigerville in just a few minutes as the Clouds come to cover. And the sun peeking through the clouds, as you can see it right over on your camera shot there, as Brooklyn Fort is getting ready to face the 9-hitter Sydney Spieth. So very exciting things happening in Tigerville, South Carolina. First pitch, a strike, 0-1. Brooklyn Fort dealing again. Many of her first-time pitches are strikes. She's a strike-heavy pitcher. She does try to live on the outside corners of the strike zone, but Brooklyn Fort doing a great job today handling the Bulldog hitters. And swing and a miss, 0-2 on Sydney Spieth. And again, we're going to commend Brooklyn Fort only allowing one hit so far by the Bulldog hitters, who have been consistently over the past February to March on average on an uptrend. There's a hit right there to Shayna Finley in second base, and she is safe. Great play, great hustle from Sydney Spieth to get down the first base line, to know the ball may not have been hit as strongly as she wanted, but she had that speed to get down there and beat out the throw from Shayna Finley. Now going back to the top of the lineup, Megan Kelly coming up for the Bulldogs, as we are looking at Brooklyn Fort taking again a runner on base, the man on base right there, and we are excited. A bunt looking as Caitlin Wagers looking over to first, making sure that Sydney Spieth stays on first. As the Bulldogs have actually been able to steal today at least once, if not twice, as now the Bulldogs have been credited with 2 hits and the Crusaders with 3. Called strike. That makes it 0-2 and 0-2. So Brooklyn Fort 0-2 count, 2 strikes, no balls. Brooklyn Fort coming out strong in this at bat. Megan Kelly digging in the dirt as the next pitch comes her way, and a strikeout. Brooklyn Fort able to take down Megan Kelly for the first out at the top of the third, leaving one runner, Sydney Spieth, on first base, as now the second place hitter, Taylor Bowen, comes up to plate, the catcher for the Bulldogs. Throwing it inside, Brooklyn Fort now 1-0 against, right now the count 1-0. Taylor Bowen, a very smart player when it comes to the batter box, as she digs in, getting ready for the next pitch from Brooklyn Fort. Tries to lay down a bunt, but the ball goes up. So that makes it one strike. So 1-1 count now for Taylor Bowen, as she is looking to help her team get back in the game. A 3-0 deficit right now, but with one runner on base, she could help bring, with one big swing of the bat, could really help bring the team back within one run. The 3-0 right now in the top of the third. Brooklyn Fort getting ready as Taylor Bowen is digging back into the batter's box, and his defense is getting set. Brooklyn Ford on the outside corner, 1-0 count right now. 2-0 count, excuse me, a 2-0 count. It's going to be right there for Taylor Bowen as she is looking down, ready for the next pitch. With 1 out, looks like Taylor Bowen now, that being a pitch, being a ball, excuse me, being a strike, 2-1. So 2-1 now. Taylor Bowen looking like the third base coach, Junior Bailey, giving her instructions to lay down a bunt with 1 out, trying to be able to get over. Trying to push over Sydney Spieth. Now 2-2. And this is always a tough call as a coach. Do you continue, Dave? Do you continue to allow your batter to sit there and try for the next bunt? And now at full count, 3-2, or do you take that bunt call off and let them swing away?
Well, you take the bunt call off now because a foul now will put the batter out.
And now Brooklyn Fort setting up again, full count with 1 out, 1 runner on first. And it's low. So now 2 runners on base. And this is exactly how the Crusaders went up. They started with 2 runners on base. They went over to which would later come on to a Kate Lee home run. So the Bulldogs may be having some of the same fortune here as they have 2 runners on base, first and second, as the pitchers are here, Brooklyn Fort and the catcher, Caitlin Wagers, talking a little bit to kind of see their game plan, settle everyone down, get ready, back in the saddle, get back up on the horse, and begin to ride again.
It's good to see Wagers and Johnson back in the game today after they had a collision yesterday. Looked like it may have slightly injured both players, but they look good today.
Trying to lay down the bunt. First and third coming in tight, trying to make sure they can get ready to field the play. As now that is a 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes, as the bunt is still looking to be in effect from Junior Bailey, calling from the third base coach line. Brittany Jacobs up to bat. And she lays on a beautiful bunt, but not in time, as that was a great play going to third. Celeste Rivers, shortstop, able to run over and get up and pick up from the throw from Megan Herlong to be able to get the out on third base. And now only, again, first and second filled up. So maybe the strategy changes a little bit, Dave, with the bunt, because the bunt at that point didn't work. But it may work again. You may want to try it again. Or now with their big hole hitter, Sierra Herp, would you let her, your deep hole hitter, would you let her?
No, you don't want to bunt for the third out.
Sierra Herp looking at the first pitch as a strike. Brooklyn Fort again dealing, trying to get ahead in the count early, which she has done well all day. A runner on first and second with Sierra Herp, the number 4 hitter, the cleanup hitter. As the defense has shifted a little bit back. And a big swing into the ball down first base line, foul. That's going to put the count at 1-1 here for Sierra Herp, who is again listed as their pitcher but not pitching today. She's playing third base today.
Yes, she's playing for a base hit. Base hit scores 1 and puts the other one at third.
Yeah, anything in right center, which is very open right now, could go a long way. But she gets a chopper right back to Brooklyn Fort, over to Morgan Herlong at first base, and that is going to end the inning for the top of the third. Brooklyn Fort and the Crusaders able to keep the run by the Bulldogs suppressed. And that now takes us to the bottom of the third here in beautiful Tigerville, South Carolina, where we are looking forward to a great bottom of the third here today. Very exciting. We'll be back in just a minute to catch you up on all the Crusader action and on this softball game here in the Conference Carolina as the North Greenville Lady Crusaders take on the Barton Bulldogs. And we're back here in beautiful Tigerville, South Carolina with the bottom of the third. Conference Carolina action, softball. As we were excited here on the North Greenville Sports Network. Beautiful sun came out today. The wind has died down, which earlier we had played a big effect in Caitlin Lee's home run as it was blowing out, but now has died down tremendously. Now we're looking at Grace DeBoer for the North Greenville Crusaders coming up to bat. As Hannah Jones looks to take her in the first pitch at the bottom of the third. And there's a strike. 0-1 for Hannah Jones. Grace DeBoer is 1-1 on today's game so far. She's looking to extend that with a ball. So now 1-1 to Grace DeBoer as Hannah Jones is getting ready to fire away, but you can hear in the background a little bit of that Crusader rally chant from the dugout. Grace DeBoer taking another strike, 1-2 on the count. Hannah Jones setting up, getting ready to hurl her fourth pitch of the set. And it's swung on by Grace DeBoer, a grounder right to second. And it's one out for Grace DeBoer as second baseman Sydney Spieth able to take an easy grounder, field it, and throw it right over to Samantha Santmeyers. So great job by the Lady Bulldogs to be able to get on top of the ball and be ready to field, playing the small ball game, which they have done so well this season. As now we're looking at Megan Johnson, number 25, coming up to bat for the Crusaders. Taking the ball outside, sharp eyes, 1-0 in the bottom of the third. She's all. And a beautiful throw from Hannah Jones right down the middle, constituting a strike, 1-1 on Megan Johnson. A swing and a hit. Megan Johnson hitting a deep ball to left field. Oh, but a great play by Michaela Meeks to be able to bring in the ball. She said not this time to the ball, didn't she, Dave? She was ready to go there. She backpedaled and jumping right time to everything to be able to take down a great snag and take a big double, even a double maybe for Megan Johnson.
Yeah, if there was a warning track, she would have been on it on that one.
Kaylin Wagers up to bat number 4. She takes a big hit at the ball, but that's going to be in shallow left field. And wow, right there, Michaela Meeks again, miss consistency, being able to help the Bulldogs get out of the bottom of the third. So a quick bottom of the third here in Tigerville, South Carolina, as we are looking for another great inning in the top of the fourth as we bring it to you here from North Greenville Sports Network. We are coming right back in just a few minutes to bring you the top of the fourth with Dave.
Yep. Before we do, Christian, I just want to thank everybody for being on the network and also those in attendance today. We've got a small stadium behind home plate that holds about 30 people, and if you haven't checked it out yet, please check it out. It has been announced that North Greenville is going to build a seating stadium that will hold 300 patrons. So we're hoping that when they get that built, we'll get 300 people out here for these games. Be great for the girls to give the support, come out and watch a game. It's really not hard to get to. We're just down on the south side of the campus. So if you have any trouble, you can ask anybody around the campus. They'll point you to the J. McDonald Field.
Exciting things happening here in Tigerville as we continue to look forward to maybe new facilities in the future. So be a part of that. Always love to have you on the broadcast like Dave was saying, but also coming out to the games is also much fun. We'll be back with the top of the fourth in just a few minutes. And just like that, we're back here at beautiful Tigerville, South Carolina. Taylor Martin, the 5-hitter, number 5 in the lineup for the Lady Bulldogs, coming up to hit against Brooklyn Fort, who has been dealing today. As Taylor Martin looks on a ball 1-0, top of the 4th, 3-0, still here in Tigerville, as we are excited to see what's going to happen next. A swing and a hit inside the dugout, but that's a foul ball down the first base line. And Dave, with no netting inside the dugouts to at least kind of protect that, you can have some major injuries from time to time like we saw yesterday.
Yeah, we had netting last year. I don't know why they don't have it up yet this year.
Another swing and a hit, foul ball right side over to the cars in the parking lot. So two big swings, 1-2 count now. A 1-2 count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So she is looking for that big hit, first a big single, and she is taking 2 big hacks at the ball. And she's able to hit down third base line. That is going to foul, as it is going to be foul for Taylor Martin. As she is staying alive, 1-2, protecting the plate against a very potent pitcher, Brooklyn Fort. And she's able to hit one right to Shayna Finley at second base, throwing it right over to Megan Herlong. So great play from the infield for the Crusaders as they are able to do a routine out. First out for today's top of the 4th inning, as she is now 0-2, Taylor Martin, on today's game. Now Michaela Meeks, the ace Golden Glove fielder out there today, at least definitely for today, pulling down the last 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Michaela Meeks up to bat now, number 6 hitter. She looks at the first ball inside. With 1 out, no one on base. Top of the 4th, as we're almost at the halfway mark here in Tigerville. Right down the middle from Brooklyn Fort. Getting back on track with a 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Michaela Meek right now at bat, not having she's 0-1 right now in today's. A swing and a miss. 1-2 now for Brooklyn Fort. Michaela Meeks looking to protect the plate, you'd have to think, for sure. Down and away, great look from Michaela Meeks as Brooklyn Fort throwing it down and away, 2-2 now. And you look behind us over there, behind the umpire, you can see a little bit of a couple of the same color black shirts. Those are the little team that came out here for some recruiting. So in order to grow the program here at J. McDonald Field, we're excited to have other high schools coming around to watch our games, to watch the games of the Lady Crusaders, and being able to see what the talent holds. Michaela Meeks again protecting the plate. A 2-2 count staying as she fouled that ball off behind the catcher. As Grace DeBoer comes in, as the infield has shifted in. And a strikeout for Brooklyn Fort. She again, her third strikeout of today's game.
Now to bat for the Bulldogs, number 17, Samantha St. Myers.
And like that, there are 2 outs on the board, and Samantha St. Myers is up to bat. And she is the 7th hitter in the Lady Bulldogs lineup. And 1 pitch away, first called strike on Samantha St. Myers. The outfield going back a little bit, the infield taking a step back, shifting backwards. going deep, as they know that Samantha St. Myers has some power in her bat as well. Now we're looking at a 1-1 count from Brooklyn Fort going to Samantha St. Myers with 2 outs. Still 3-0 here in Tigerville at the top of the 4th. You can hear the rally cries, rally chants from the from the Bulldog dugout. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes as we are going in with 2 outs right now as Samantha St. Myers is getting ready for her next pitch. Call strike 3, Brooklyn Fort. 2 strikeouts in the same inning of the top of the 4th. She has been on point today, very, very sharp out there today against the Lady Bulldogs. Brooklyn Fort doing a great job. And we are still here in beautiful Tigerville, South Carolina. We are looking forward to a great bottom of the 4th inning. So we're here in J.M. McDonald Field. A lot of great attendance here today. Beautiful sun. Wish you were here with us. Thankful that you're with us on the broadcast, but wish you could be here. Come and join us for a game. We love to see your face, love to get to meet you, good to shake your hand and give a warm smile. We want to thank you for joining us today. Again, we are excited as the wind is dying down. Beautiful sun. We'll be right back on the North Greenville Sports Network to give you the bottom of the 4th inning. I'm Christian Athey with Dave Parson. Starting the bottom of the 4th, we have number 17. Number 17, Kate Lee, coming up. The one who, our last at bat, had a 2-run home run, giving the Crusaders a 3-0 lead. She takes another big chop, but that's going to be foul behind home plate. You got to watch out for the parking lot. The parking lot is directly behind home, a little off to the left of home plate. Hannah Jones doing a great job today as well. She has been able to do she's going to have 1 of 2 strikeouts today. Another big swing from Kate Lee, but foul down the first base line. So she's looking to hit opposite field right now, Dave. Already an 0-2 count. So no balls, 2 strikes after taking 2 big chops at the ball. Feeling the confidence as the wind is actually now blowing left to right. Haley Jones with a high ball thrown. So now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes as the outfield has definitely gone deep. It's definitely playing deep now, knowing the power behind Kate Lee's bat. Swing and a hit, but right over to second base. Sydney Spieth able to take that ball right down, snag it out of the air, the pop line drive. So great job by the second baseman for the Lady Bulldogs. After that, Megan Hurlong, the first baseman for the Crusaders, coming up to bat with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th, as we are almost reaching the halfway point here in beautiful Tigerville, South Carolina. First is going to be a call strike on the outside corner. Haley Jones, bread and butter for today, 0-1 with no balls, 1 strike. Trying again for that special corner, but not able to catch it this time. 1-1 as Megan Hurlong looks to help bring in some insurance runs for the Crusaders. and a high rising fastball, but does not stay inside the strike zone. 2-1, 2 balls, 1 strike now, has Megan Herlong able to have some good eyes to know that ball is a rising fastball and going well out of the strike zone. Again, trying to paint the corner from Hannah Jones, as now it is a 3-1 count. 3-1 count. Now it is a hitter's count. Megan Herlong digging in the batter's box, getting ready. And she is walked. Megan Herlong walked to first base, so a runner on first base. Now for Greer Kilman, the center fielder for the Crusaders, coming up to bat. The number 7 hitter. So right in the thick of the lineup for the Crusaders is Hannah Jones. It's gearing up to get ready with 1 out, trying to help her team maybe be able to throw to get the ball to a double play to be able to get them out of the bottom of the 4th. A bunt trying to be laid down by Greer Kilman, but that is going to be called strike as it was a foul off her bat. So 0-1 now here in Tigerville. No balls and 1 strike. So 0-1. And you can hear in the background the wind is beginning to pick up again hard from right field to left field, blowing very hard. So easy for Greer Kilman to maybe pull the ball out of here over the left field wall. And a great line drive hit for Greer Kilman right over to the left fielder, Michaela Meeks. She's able to do a great job in advancing the runner, Megan Herlong, to second base and getting her a single on today's game. Greer Kilman, a beautiful hit.
Christian, except for the first batter for the Bulldogs hitting the ball to right field, everything else has been to left field today. It's like they're trying to play against the wind.
Yeah, a lot of the balls being easily pulled that way with the wind helping it out. So very exciting, as now the group of Lady Bulldogs being able to come around Hannah Jones and be able just to calm her down, get her ready, get her dialed back into the game. You know, no biggie. You know, I've been in those situations before, but it's a no biggie. You know, you got it. You've proven. You know how to play. You know how to win. You know, just go do it. So Hannah Jones gearing back up, throwing her next pitch, and a bunt laid down by Kelsey Rivers, but that is going to roll foul, so runners will go back to first and second, and that will be an 0-1 right there. No balls, 1 strike on Kelsey Rivers, the shortstop for the North Greenville Crusaders, who right now is 0-1 on today's game. So looking to do everything she can for the Lady Crusaders to help put more. They have 1 runner in scoring position right now on second base with Megan Herlong, but they want to be able to put both of them on through helping be able to bunt with Kelsey Rivers. And that ball is taken outside by Kelsey Rivers. Hannah Jones paying the corner, but a little too far, as that now brings our count to 1-1. And it's high again from Haley Jones, so that brings our count to 2-0. Excuse me, looks like the scoreboard may have had our count messed up a minute ago, but now it is 2-0 officially, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. And you can see, Dave, the outfield has actually shifted over to the left field side, knowing that the wind has been helping bring some of those balls that way. As the ball is swinging hit by Kelsey Rivers, she's able to get the sacrifice down, but that is the 3rd and final out of the bottom of the 4th. So great play from the 3rd baseman right over there. Taylor Martin able to ground the ball up. Samantha St. Myers able to put her glove out there, get the final out of the bottom of the 4th to stop the bleeding for the Bulldogs, as the Crusaders are still up 3-0, and Crusaders leaving 2 Lady Crusaders on base. So that's interesting as we continue here on the North Greenville Sports Network. As we're excited to continue here on the North Sports Network, we will be bringing you the 5th and the top of the 5th in just a few minutes here from beautiful Tigerville, South Carolina. And we're here in beautiful Tigerville, South Carolina. Dave had a little bit of explanation for us.
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but it looked like we had a player was called out on a bunt. The second player, second out of the inning. As she ran out of the batter's box, it hit her in the leg, and she was called out.
So right there, Hannah Jones coming up to bat, the pitcher for the Lady Bulldogs, as she's facing Brooklyn Fort again. And right now, Hannah Jones is 0-1 on today's game, as that is the first pitch strike to her, 0-1. And no ball is 1 strike. The ball is going to be reaching the outside corner, so that will be called ball. 1-1 now here, as Brooklyn Fort looks to continue to settle in against Hannah Jones. Swinging a hit right back to Megan Herlong, and she's able to take that one for the take that one for the team right back to herself.
Up next to bat for the Bulldogs, number 1, Sydney Spade.
And we're looking at now as we have a stoppage of play, but we're going to get right back to it here in beautiful Tigerville, South Carolina, as we are getting you up ready to go, as we're looking at the next batter coming up. Brooklyn Fort able to take out Sydney Spieth up on bat right now. 1-0. 1-0 is the scoreboard. Looks to be having a little bit of technical issues, but we are here, Brooklyn Fort dealing today, as we are ready to continue going. Head ball right back to Brooklyn Fort. The easy grounder right back to Brooklyn Fort, able to catch the pop up and be able to take it right over to Megan Herlong on first base, taking out Sydney Spieth. So now the number 1 batter in the lineup, Megan Kelly, coming back up with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th, looking to see if she can get the Lady Bulldogs, helping them out any way she can to begin to get some traction with some points on the board. She fouls that back. That is 0-1 now for her 1 strike and no ball. So no balls and 1 strike. Brooklyn Fort continue to bring some power behind her pitches, trying to throw it down for the first strike on the first pitch. And so I know that you can tell by the way the Lady Bulldogs are beginning to swing at the first pitch, knowing that that first pitch is more than likely going to be a strike. So a good adjustment. In the game of baseball, the game of softball is all about adjustments. And a pop-up right over to Shayna Finley, as she's able to take out the last and final out, the 3rd out of the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 right now here in Tigerville, South Carolina, as we are continuing. Great day to be out here. Thank you for joining us. We are here in beautiful Tigerville, South Carolina, as the Lady Crusaders look to come up to bat in the bottom of the 4th. So very exciting things happening here in Tigerville, South Carolina, as we are continuing, as we'll be back in just a minute. And we're right back here in beautiful Tigerville, South Carolina. Again, Shayna Finley, the first hitter in the lineup for the Crusaders, coming up right here, right now, with no outs and the top of the fifth. So we're excited to continue here. She takes a big swing, but a miss. Hannah Jones able to throw that ball right by Shayna Finley, doing a great job. Hannah Jones getting ready again to throw the ball to Shayna Finley. Shayna Finley kicks her leg up, but looks at the pitch go by her. Now it is 1-1 here in beautiful Tigerville, South Carolina. 1 ball, 1 strike. We are having some technical difficulties with our scoreboard, but we will be having that posted back up in just a few minutes. The score 3-0, top of the fifth. No outs. And again, low and away. 2-1 for Shayna Finley. As again, they're looking. The first pitch was right down the middle, but now it's beginning to. Haley Jones having a little bit of issues struggling with her commands. We have the scoreboard back up for you. We'll be having it functional in just a few minutes. And a chop by Shayna Finley right down the third base line, getting in between the shortstop and the third baseman. Great play as Michaela Meeks, the steady misconsistency in the backfield and left field, able to help that ball out to make sure that Shayna Finley would stay on first. So a single for Shayna Finley. Now that brings her to 1-2 on today's game. So very exciting things happening here in Tigerville. As now it puts a runner on base. And a bunt coming from Grace DeBoer. A bobbled ball allowing Shayna Finley to get to second base. So an easy steal going for Shayna Finley. And that puts Shayna Finley in scoring position. And the Crusaders had a great opportunity with Grace DeBoer to be able to have an opportunity to swing away. Count 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, no outs. 3-0 right now. She looks to lay down the bunt. She lays it down. And she is called out. That did stay in fair territory. So Grace DeBoer thrown out at first by the catcher, Taylor Bowen. But that still does allow Shayna Finley to go to third base. The wind again is picking up here, been a factor here all day, as now Megan Johnson, who has took some big chops at the ball today that have all unfortunately been fouled, but she looks to go right now. She looks at first ball away from her as she's a left-handed batter. 1-0, which we have seen on both sides of right-handed and left-handed batters, Dave. Haley Jones working both sides of their outside strike zones. And another ball from Haley Jones, 2-0, as the infield is creeping up quicker and quicker, making sure that if anything that is short or not hit very strongly, we'll be able to throw it right back down to home plate. And she is able, and the umpire is going to let that fly by. That is a 3-0 count now, 3 balls, no strikes for Haley Jones, as Megan Johnson again still up to bat here today, as she is 0-1 right now with 1 sacrifice fly. And a strike. Way to get back control of her command. Haley Jones 3-1 now on the count, a hitter's count. It would be surprising to see what Megan Johnson will do now. A swing and a hit. Megan Johnson right back to our booth, and it's going to fall right into center field, hitting off the wall as 1 run is going to score. That is Shayna Finley, and Megan Johnson getting a double on today's game. Very exciting here for the Crusaders, as the center fielder, Megan Kelly, and Sydney Spieth, right fielder, coming back to try to field the ball. Megan Kelly able to do a great job being able to get the cutoff, only allowing Megan Johnson to second base. Now bringing up Caitlin Wagers. She looks on with a big swing and a foul ball behind home plate as Haley Jones looks to settle in. Now the score 4-0 as the Crusaders are looking with another Lady Crusader in scoring position on second base to continue to bring in some more insurance runs. So now no balls, 1 strike, 1 out. And a swing and a hit right down, but gets through the first baseman's glove. Samantha St. Meyer rolls out to right field to Sydney Spieth, and Caitlin Wager's able to get on first base, moving over Megan Johnson to third. Now with Kate Lee, who has already today had a big home run with 2 Lady Crusaders on base. Now you can see the Lady Bulldogs are coming to the mound with Junior Bailey to see what they want to do to kind of see. I do not think will be a pitching change here, Dave, but it looks like they're definitely trying to, Junior Bailey, the head coach at Barton College, trying to coach up Haley Jones and the team to know what they need to do in this situation.
We're also going to get a pinch runner at first.
A pinch runner. And as soon as we can see her number, we will let you know who that is. Normally it's Haley Gray, but today until we see the number, we'll be able to confirm that with you today. So now Kate Lee, up until a few minutes ago, it's definitely the only home run today, Kate Lee. She comes up to play against Haley Jones with a runner on first and third here in the top of the 5th. And a high ball. That's going to be ball 1. Haley Jones looking like the pressure is definitely in this moment, but she's ready to get back, dial back in for the 1-0 count.
Christian, I don't expect a bunt here. I look for a base hit attempt, but possible steal.
For the Lady Crusaders, you always have to look out for the steal because they have a lot of speed on the team. And with that, Taylor Bowen throwing back to third base. Sierra Herp able to knock down and keep the third base tight as Megan Johnson staying on third.
Yeah, I think that bunt was a fake bunt just to allow her to get to second. So now you got runners at second and third. 1 out.
Yep, and so, hey, anything works, right? Small ball is a great way to go. And that ball is on the outside corner, so we are looking at a 2-1 count right now. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And another prediction, if you see anything over the plate, it's going to be a mistake now with first base open.
It'll be very tempting. Anything left over the plate would be a very tempting way to have an easy hit. But now with first base open, they have an option to walk her. But a swing and a miss, a big cut, 2-2. As Haley Jones is surviving, doing a great job keeping her composure in the heat of the moment, even though now she has a runner on second and third breathing down her neck. She is able to throw that strike in there and get Kate Lee looking. And she does it again. Hannah Jones with nerves of steel, getting the second out against the only home run hitter today in the Lady Crusader softball game, with Kate Lee taking her down, giving her her third strikeout of the game. Megan Herlong, the first baseman for the Crusaders, coming up now with 2 outs, 4 points on the board for the Crusaders against 0 of the Lady Bulldogs. And again, Hannah Jones trying to paint that outside corner. 1 ball, no strikes. And she also has the opportunity, if she wants to walk Megan Herlong to bring up Greer Kilman. And in the background, we have some of the fans doing the gator chomp. The fans getting into a big hit right from Megan Herlong. It's going to fall in what we like to call the Bermuda Triangle, and a run will score. 2 runs will score. 2 runs are going to score. Morgan Herlong able to get what we call the Bermuda Triangle between center, second, and shortstop, dropping the ball perfect, a little pop-up. And it scores 2 runs for the Crusaders, now 6-0. Crazy things happening here in Tigerville. As now Greer Kilman comes up to bat here against Hannah Jones, And the ball low with a 1 ball and no strikes now. You know, being the first game, the 5th inning, top of the 5th, and being one more game after today with a doubleheader today, you have to think about what you're going to be doing with the pitchers and with all your players and be able to keep them healthy and ready to go for the second game.
Bulldogs have not had anybody warming up all day.
So
not even the starter for the second game hasn't warmed up yet.
At least not at the time of this game. So right now it's 1-1 count, 1 ball, 1 strike to Greer Kilman. Greer Kilman taking another ball, 2-1 with 2 outs, 1 runner on first base. That's Megan Herlong, who helped score 2 runs. Greer Kilman is 1-2 on today's game. And she is looking at her 3rd. 2-2 is the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. And now that's going to put the count to a full count. 3-2. Haley Jones with 1 strike away from ending the top of the 5th as the cloud cover comes back over to shade the field. And just like that, it's gone. And she is walked. Greer Kilman going to get a escort down to first base. And she is walked today by Haley Jones. So now with 1 walk, we have a runner in scoring position on second base and 1 runner on first base. And now we're looking at Kelsey Rivers, the shortstop for the Crusaders, getting ready. And that is a called strike, 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike, a good strong pitch to come back for Haley Jones, who's had a tough half inning so far. Now 1-1, 1 ball, 1 strike as she pushes the ball a little too far outside the strike zone. As we are still here in beautiful Tigerville, South Carolina, a big inning for the Crusaders as they scored 2 runs in this inning, making it now 6-0 with 2 outs. And another ball, 2-1. 2-1 from Haley Jones. So now you have to be thinking with a 1 Lady Crusader in scoring position with 2 on base. You have to be thinking to trying to get some kind of ground ball to get an easy out. And a ground ball it is down third base line, right over. And a great throw from Sarah Herp, and it is safe. It is safe. Sarah Herp able, not in time, as Kelsey Rivers able to just run out the ball with some speed. So bases loaded. Here's Brooke Wade, the number 9 hitter for the Crusaders, coming up, a freshman. And a swing and a miss, foul ball. 1-1. Excuse me, 0-1. 0-1. 1 strike and no balls, so no balls and 1 strike. Bases loaded. A 6-0 lead right now, 2 outs, top of the 5th. As the sun is beating down. A swing and a hit right over the second baseman's glove. And that is going to score 2 runs, pushing the Crusaders' lead to 8. And I think with that, we have the mercy rule here in Tigerville, South Carolina. 8-0. Can you believe it, Dave?
Yeah, unfortunately, that was the score of the first game for the Bulldogs, and I noticed that the stat sheet showed that only went 5 innings too for the Bulldogs. Unfortunately, it's come back to join them again. Good win for the Lady Crusaders, but again, the umpires, I think they were looking at it. If they got to maybe 7 or 8, I think it's an 8-run rule that calls the mercy rule after 5 innings. So they have reset the scoreboard. North Greenville with a victory 8-0, and they're going to get ready for game 2.
Exciting stuff here in Tigerville. Man, with that, who would have thought? Greer Kilman doing a great job today. Megan Herlong, Kate Lee, all able to do just a great job. 1:20 now is the time. We will be back within another, I'm guessing 15 minutes. 15 minutes is around the average time they will be normally putting in between the games. So in about another 15 minutes, we'll be back with game 2 here in beautiful Tigerville, South Carolina, as we are getting ready for that. So exciting. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be back in just a few minutes. 8-0 is the final score, with Kate Lee having a home run, as well as Megan Herlong having a couple good RBIs, and the Crusaders able to take it on the mercy rule, 8-0, only to the top of the 5th. We'll be back in just a few minutes here on the North Greenville Sports Network.